Vinny, what's up, bud? Did you get to see um, the posts I did about this Carter Prime that I did? Oh man, hey Ken, yeah, it's been like about 2 minutes. So I did this Carter Prime for Sean. Okay, so I'll show you what it looks like, and then you can look up pictures of what they'd look like coming from the factory, and you can see it came out awesome. I did custom ano and did this black and ceramic. I did black and yellow ceramic on the blade, so I'm not sure how clear it's going to be for you. But yeah, I modified this last night, sharpening it today. I sharpened 10. I sharpened 10 of his knives yesterday. I anodized this one. I got knives in the oven for heat treat today. What's up, A-Ray? Um, I do like a Warrenclyffe for certain applications. So when I get back in the black, I am going to find a Master Blaster and buy one. It's the only one of their new designs that I really like that I don't have. So it was just bare, and I mean it's kind of clever, but I did black, I did blue and bronze, but I did an orange peel on here. Hang on a second. Let me flip this around. You can probably see it better this way. I did orange peel on the pocket clip, the spines and backspacer, and then I did black and yellow ceramic, which comes out almost a bronze. And I'm just finishing up the sharpening now. I'm only at like 3,000 grit. So I'm at 3,000 grit. I'm about to take it to 5,000 and then 8,000. So it came out really nice. When it came, I was like, fuck, why would anyone buy this? It says Carter Prime on a blade, Taiwan on the other side. It was a meh knife, and then I got done and I was like, fuck, if it looked like this, I'd have bought it. But it's IKBS. And like I was telling everybody on Instagram a little bit ago, if you send me IKBS, I'm immediately going to charge extra. It's one of those things now that if I'm going to have to take your knife apart, put it back together, because I'm not gonna lie, I lost probably 8 of the little balls out of it. But that's the nice thing about IQBS. You only need about half of the balls that come with it. It's got way more than it needs. Like they fill the track all the way up, but you could get it. You could get away with like half of those. And the nice thing is they distribute themselves evenly. Okay, didn't we talk about this before? Kingstones, that I have a couple Kingstones that I use. I believe you asked me that before. I believe I've already answered that. I thought I already answered that question for you once before. I may not have, but yeah, I like Kingstones for the lower grit stuff. It's like around 1,000 grit. I say that and people are like, your lower grit stones are 1,000 grit? For a lower grit, like if you're talking around 1,000 grit, they're fine. You start getting into their coarser stuff, they're iffy. Let's go ahead. We'll take her up to 10,000. Just because. I just want to see what D2 looks like at 10,000 grit. No, I cleaned them all up. I took a magnet and picked them up. I just couldn't get them back. I just could not get them back in the knife. They would not go. Every time I would try. Well, good morning to you, sir. 2 knives in already. What time is it here? I need a clock out here. I need a clock out here. I have to keep track of time. I have to get ready. I have an appointment this morning for insurance, so I think it's probably about 8:30 or so. 8:35, 8:40. I was right. Did I miss anything? I know that 8:41. Hey, Phil. So you got the dimensions, right, Philip? You got the dimensions. I saw that you have the stencil that you're wanting. I wanted to make sure you knew it has to be something in vinyl. Something vinyl or plastic, almost like the stencils that you get at Michael's. Because if you don't, it's just going to burn off in the Beat Blast booth. It's just going to burn a hole in it. Cardboard, paper. I've tried regular stickers. It just does not work. So if you were able to make me a Mandalorian stencil so I could do a Boba Fett knife for guy, that would be amazing. He and I both have been trying to find a Boba Fett. Tony, Vinny. I don't know what the... Is it thin? Because if it's too thick, then I can't adhere it to the blade the way I want. I cut my finger pretty deep yesterday. I was doing blade blanks. I got them cut out so that I could put them in the oven for heat treat. And I had a wire burr that I didn't see. And when I was surface grinding it, it cut and it stuck in broke off in my finger. I had to dig it out. That wasn't fun. That wasn't tasty or smooth. That is fucking gorgeous. And it's stupid sharp. Let's go ahead and give it a final finish real quick. I had someone ask me, do I load this drop every time? Yeah. You want, if you're not using... You didn't have to retract it, Andy. You can pick on me. It's fine. I do load it every time because if you don't, your abrasives break down and it doesn't cut clean on the steel. And basically all you do is round off your micro. So about 2 or 3 strokes on the leather is about all that abrasive is really good for. And I have to replace the leather on this. This leather has started to not want to load well. I can't clean it up anymore. That is... Vinny, you cannot disagree with me on that one. The steel is harder. The steel is harder than at chromium oxide. At that point, all you're doing is polishing. You're not maintaining your... Because technically, once you load a strop, it's no longer a strop, it's a hone. Now my balsa wood, I know. The leather's just shot. I've used that. I made that strop block 3 years ago. I just need to replace the leather, that's all. That is all there is to it. It just needs replaced. Let's see here. I got 3 more knives to try and do in the next... It's not happening. Next hour, it's not happening. That's frightening. That yellow good. Does it match the bronze? but it's just close enough. What leather did I use? That's a belt that didn't fit anymore. That's a belt that I had gotten really, really fat when I had first got out of the military. I hurt my knee. I had been working out daily. I hurt my knee. They put me on some medicines that for my autoimmune. I was on prednisone, and so I had gotten really fat. Really fat. It was bad, and I put. I was on steroids to keep my immune system in check, and I couldn't do anything because I was in so much pain. And so I gained all that weight. Well, once I was able physically to do stuff again, and then I had my knee and shoulder surgery, I got more active and I lost a bunch of weight, and so that belt didn't fit anymore. So I just cut it up and turned it into a strop. It needs replaced. It's just, so what I did was I took an old piece of belt, I screwed it down in 2 places, and then I took a couple pieces of scrap and I screwed them over. So I used that one just because at 10,000 grit, I don't need to really, especially on something like this, as a working style knife, I don't need to go down to a 0.5 micron. I just use that to make sure I've knocked the burr completely off. Just a little bit of mild abrasive to knock the burr off. It is stupid sharp. That's done. I was saying on Instagram, I thought she was trying to get my attention. If you send me a knife that's IKBS, I'm automatically going to charge you $10 extra. I'm sorry, I have to. They are ridiculous. I hate fucking fighting with those things. Then there's this. Tradesium by Ferrum Forge. This is my friend Matt's knife. He already paid me. So I kind of need to get these done. Oh, and then there's this. Here's another knife I did a ceramic and anomod on for him. It's for a friend of his who is a Falcons fan. So it's a Falcons Falcon. Black blade, red scales, black pocket clip. And I did, let's see, can you see it on here? I did orange peel on the backspacer and the pocket clip before we did the black ceramic. I might not be good at everything. I don't know what was magnetized, but I'm telling you, they didn't stick to the blade, so I don't think it was the balls. The blade is steel, the pivot was steel, and when I put them on the blade, they wouldn't stick to the blade. They would roll everywhere, but they definitely stuck to the pin. So I would say you might be wrong. Okay, might is you're wrong, because I saw what it was doing. So not to sound like an asshole, but I did see that they were not sticking to the blade. They would roll everywhere. If you tip the blade, they would just roll right off. When I would try to put that pivot in, they would stick to the pivot. And the blade is steel, so if it was going to stick to the blade, pivot, it would have stuck to the blade as well. I imagine it's something, you know, it doesn't take much to magnetize something by accident. Let's do this one first. This one is going to be more work because it's never had an edge. It's just still got the factory edge. See, this got blasted and tumbled as well. It has no edge. I may as well get the hard stuff out of the way and then treat myself with the easy stuff at the end. Yesterday while I was doing this, I was just sweating because I was sick. I'm feeling so much better today. Now, one of you guys, I'm wondering if they're on here, was asking me about removing DLC coating from a booze blade's smoke. I've never tried to do it, but I imagine I could do it in the blast booth. I would just... problem you're going to have is it's not going to be a polished finish. Big blast and tumbled, maybe. So I've been ignoring comments. Let's see here. Feeling better? Yeah, I feel a lot better. Adam, those colors look good. That's beautiful. That's so cool. What's the bearing? Okay. Knee, shoulder, neck. You're falling apart, dude. Yeah, I am. I'm old. Let's see. It's PJs. No, it's not. I'm actually wearing a pair of jeans. I have on a race shirt, Brady Bacon shirt underneath. I almost forgot this morning that I have a meeting. I was gonna go straight to the forge and get started. Elliot is gonna start the heat treat on my blades for me, and I'm gonna pick up where he leaves off. I have a meeting at 11, and I really like the guy I'm meeting with. I really want to help his company, so I know I probably won't make much money on it because I'm just along for the ride to introduce him to our in-house broker because he's not interested in the Aflac, he's interested in health insurance. We can tie the two together to save him a little bit of money if that's what he wants to do, but if not, I'm perfectly fine with it. He doesn't show much interest in the Aflac stuff, but I like the guy and I want to try and help his country, or his company. You guys, stop thanking me for my service. I enjoyed it. It was, like I said, when I said it last night, I've said it in other live feeds. When I say it was my pleasure, I loved every minute of it. You don't have to thank me for something I loved. Well, thank you. See, I'm that veteran that goes to, like, I go to Knott's Berry Farms. Knott's Berry Farm with my daughter. And you guys saw the video. It's free for veterans and active duty military and things like that. And at that, I almost, it kind of, don't get me wrong, I get being proud, the fact that you're a veteran. But sometimes it's over the top. I mean, these guys are wearing like all their military gear, hats, and they've got their insignias and stuff. I get it. It's to be proud, but I've never been that guy. I would much rather just, if somebody finds out and they thank me, I'm good with that. I didn't do anything that fucking special. I did a job I enjoyed for 18 years. Almost 18. And given a chance, I'd do it all over again. But it's these guys that we never see them wearing that any other time of the year, except when it's like the military appreciation days. I don't know. It almost like I don't. It's like fishing. It's like fishing for a thank you. I very rarely wear this anywhere but here. I bought this sweatshirt. My wife has a sweatshirt and sweatpants. I have the sweatshirt and sweatpants. I bought these when we got to Yokosuka, Japan. I bought them. Actually, no. I bought these the year we got married. I've had this sweatshirt for 16, almost 17 years. You cannot wear these motherfuckers out. I still have the pants with it too, and we wore it. We bought them because they were fucking cheap, and it was cold that winter. And Japanese houses don't have central heating. We would wear a sweatshirt, sweatpants. These were like around the house kind of things. I wear this to the shop. This is like a work shirt. But what I was saying is, like I said, we have a lot of matching jackets and things like that. I think it was 47 when I got up and started this morning. I have a ship cap. I have a ship's cap. I don't wear it. I have a hat from every one of my ships. I have a command ball cap from every one of my ships. I have a little place in there where I have like some of my military memorabilia. I still have my dog tags. I have all that shit. But I'm not that guy that would drag that with me. You know what I mean? I don't drag that with me when I go places. It just, like I said, it almost feels like you shouldn't have to need the thanks. You know what I mean? And I get everybody did it for different reasons. I did it for patriotic reasons, but I don't know. I mean, I would never call anyone out. I would never like try and shame a fellow veteran for that. I mean, but it's that's not why I did what I did. Anyway, I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about knives. I nested, well, Elliot did for me, in a DTX file, 4 water jet, 62 blades, into a 36 by 11 sheet of steel. Now, I'm not ready to take orders yet. I have got to get it on order. I'm going to call today, order the sheet, and send them the file. It's going to cost me about $1,100. That being said, once those blade blanks come in from Waterjet, I will start taking orders for, what's up, A-Ray? Yeah, it's not that cold here. The sun's up now. There are 12 Hornets and super glue cuts all the time. There are 12 Hornets. There are at least 3 of them already spoken for. I'm not taking any further orders. Those were people that had basically said they wanted them before I got the sheet of steel. There are 50 Viper neck knives. So it's an investment up front, but the fact is I'm going to be able to, with the fact that someone gave me the money to purchase the steel, I'm gonna be able to keep my prices the same for now, which is awesome because I was dreading the fact that I was gonna have to buy steel and I was gonna incur another price increase. On ZTs? No, but I think if I remember right, they use shouldered hardware just like Chris and Elliot do, which means that you can't compress that any further. So once it cuts that track in the titanium, it is. But a lot of ZTs do have the washers. They're in there tight, like the that Carter Prime. I didn't think it had washers at first, and I got to look at it and I could see the line, and then I was able to basically dig it out of there. People have said that about 808, the 0808 doesn't? I don't know if I've ever had one of those. But like I said, if you use shouldered hardware, what that prevents is you can't tighten that pivot down any tighter. You can only get it so tight, and then it's not even so much that it work hardens. Once it cuts that track and you use the shouldered hardware, you can't tighten that pivot. All of the hardware on Chris and Elliot's knives are shouldered. They go into a point where you can't crank it down any further. It sets the distance. Then the bearings get cut in, they tighten, and all the hardware, they cut that track in by hand, just like this. Those bearings cut a track in the titanium that is set because the distance between the hardware, since it's all shouldered, you can't get it any tighter. So the pivot actually doesn't set the tension. It's all the other hardware, including their stop pin. Their stop pin is shouldered as well. So it's a way around, it's a way to prevent that additional depth that you would get in some other knives where the parts aren't shouldered in. It's all part of the, Elliot likes to refer to knives as a system. So the way they build knives are done in a system where there are failure points, there are points that accept stress so other points do not. And it's just one of the ways that they have designed their stuff. Hey, what's up? I need to get these done. I've already been paid for these ones. Well, for 3 of them. So getting them done becomes a priority, because if I don't, they will sit. I have one of Nico's knives, and Nico, like I said, Nico doesn't pay me for sharpening because he's awesome. And he's done a lot of stuff to help me and things like that. So, and he's really done stuff that he didn't need to, that he's done a lot of stuff he didn't need to, that he didn't have money to do, and he's done it for me. What's up, Jep? And so because of that, and I recognize the fact that he's done things that he probably, hey, he probably didn't have to, you know, and probably shouldn't have financially. So but I need to get his custom. Out and sharpen it too. Knife is that? That is a Falcon. I anodized this, or not anodized, I did ceramic coating on this for our friend Matt. I did some orange peel and then did black because this is a gift for a friend of his who's a Falcons fan. And so it is black and red. I've done a couple knives for him like that. Yep, I think we're ready to go to the 1000 grit. I have to flatten these stones. I got to order a couple stones, but so Nico, you didn't hear it because you kind of, I don't know if you had logged in yet. Did you hear what about the sheet? How many knives I'm be able to get out of that 36 by 11 sheet that I'm ordering today? Like how far away the gas pedal is, and them not having your size at Kids R Us, and so like I said, 62 total knives. 62 total knives that I was able to get, that Elliot was able to nest. He sent me the file. I'm calling today to order the steel. I'm probably looking at $1,100 or $1,200 total, but that translates to $10,000 after you subtract that. I'm feeling a lot better. The fact that they gave me that Tamiflu, I feel much better today. Blades are going in the oven today. Yeah, I feel better. I gutted it out. I worked till I think 10. I think I finished that knife at 10:30, that Carter Prime. I finished the ano, and it was the reassembly that took so long. I finished all the ano and ceramic at like 8, and then it took me like a couple hours to get it put back together. But it came out amazing. It is smooth as fucking butter. The IKBS on this is probably, for a cheap knife, I hate to say it, this is probably some of the best IKBS that I felt. It is better than the Todd Begg that I did. The IKBS on this is smoother than that Todd Begg was. And this is a fucking $30 knife. Well, now technically it's probably a $100 knife because he's going to have to pay me because I did ceramic and ano, so, and sharpening, so it came out really good. And I was smart enough to mask off the pivot and the fucking stop bar and the fucking contact point for the lock bar. Like, remember the problem we had with this one when I tried to get it and it wouldn't lock and we were fucking around with it, Nico? So yeah, lesson learned. It's an $80 knife. I thought, well, I mean, it's not a bad knife. It looked like a hot turd. It looked like a hot turd. When I first looked at it, I was like, you know, beauty is in the eye of the beholder because the owner loves it. He's like, I love it the way it is, but can you make it better? And I was like, I looked at it and I was like, I don't think I can make it worse. So if I could send it. So I sharpened 10 of his knives yesterday, finished 5 blade blanks, and did all. I did a lot for a day where I was sick. My stomach still hurts a little bit, but that could be because I haven't eaten much. Sweetheart, could I talk you into pouring me some more coffee? Could I talk you into pouring me some more coffee? I'm dirty. Yeah, you're eating and watching ice skating. What do you mean you gotta go? It's only, oh fuck, it's 9, almost 9:30. Okay. I don't like the look of that much. I still want one. I love coffee. I have to clean this fucking mess out here up too. So S35 VN, so that you guys know, unless you specifically request something different. Well, thank you, sweetie. I love you. Unless you request something different, specifically. Ooh, earthquake, sorry. Unless you request something specifically different, S35 VN only goes to 3,000 grit. Because for some reason, when you take S35 VN up, above about 3,000 grit, it gets cloudy. Oh, Yuka said hi yesterday, by the way. I don't know if you heard her. Isabel passed her test. Oh, Philip, are you still on here, Philip? Are you gonna send me coffee with the stencil? Awesome. So Phil D was on an Instagram live feed, was telling me about that he was doing his own coffee. He was roasting his own coffee. I was like, cool. Yes, I have. I used to own one. I have Sharpened Double Edge Ultratech. It's almost a lost cause. I'm not gonna lie to you. They are so. Was that? Okay, for 1998, they are so thick behind the edge that it's really hard to get them sharp. I got rid of my double edge and the bayonet. I've had 3 different Ultratechs, and the one that I kept was the Tonto. You can still kind of read the serial number on that. There's that. Did you guys hijack my feed again? You guys hijack my live feed and have your own personal conversation again? Is that what's going on here? Well, that's 3 down. What to do next? I want to move to California so bad. I lived there when I was a kid. Ah, dude. I'm going to tell you right now. It's not that great. And here is more of Nico's work on this Essie. I don't know. Do I want to start this monstrosity now? Or do I want to save it for later? I should probably... Oh, I got time. I got time. I do have to keep an eye on the time. Because I need to leave here at about 10:30. At least it was fairly well ground. Yeah, but they charge a lot for the weather. Tip is ground a little wonky, but I think I can fix that. Yeah, I'll be able to. It's not going to be that much work. These things are nice. I do like the Essies. My finger's sore. What was that? Can I sharpen your gladius? Absolutely not. How much to sharpen your katana? More than you want to pay me. Whatever your limit is, it's $100 more than that. I will not sharpen another fucking sword ever again. I swore it up and down. There's one caveat to that. I have a friend. If he ever becomes UFC champion, I will sharpen his sword for him. He made me promise that. I've done it before, and that's why I said I won't do it again. I have done it before, and I refuse to do it again. I even sold the equipment to do it. It's a promise. He's not that tough. He's not a real big guy. Hits really hard, but he's not a real big guy. He's got little girly hands too. Squeeze his hands. I'm like, we'd do the, he's like, all right, Mike, let's do this. And he'd grab my hand, he'd start to squeeze. I'm like, you ready? He goes, yeah. I'm like, oh no, I wasn't ready. Ooh, and I go, he's like, no, you're gonna break it. I need this. I miss that kid. I got to try and get a hold of Will. I haven't got to go to any of his fights. He fights local here. I haven't got to go at any of these fights. I want him so badly to do what he wants, which is to get out of the military and just become a full-time fighter. He's trying to get into Bellator. Now that I've set my own schedule, I should just show up at the gym one evening. He teaches jiu-jitsu and boxing at the gym where he trains. That's how he basically works off his training fees, is he instructs. Awesome guy. His name's Williams. You may have seen him on my Instagram every once in a while. His Instagram is, oh, hi, I'm Paul. God, great kid. Was in the Army, got out of the Army, joined the Navy. Realized that had some bad times in the military, realized it's probably not for him. But I mean, at least he did his time. So you guys watch Outdoor 55, right? Outdoors Channel 55. I like that guy. He and I have talked a few times. I need to get a hold of him and see if there's any chance he's coming out here sometime. Why are you guys retracting messages? You am too what? Because that's good grammar. What's grammar. Fuck. I wish I hadn't started this. It's not really a matter of being old enough. A lot of those songs get played and 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 played. So I had a friend of mine that we've been friends for years, and he goes, "Do you know what? He's like, in medieval times, do you know what you would have been?" It's like, a heretic? Because besides that, you would have been an armorer. It's like, what do you mean? I was an armorer in the Navy. He goes, yeah, no, but he's like, you'd have been that guy. Dead. He's like, you would have been that, my buddy Mike. He was like, you would have been that guy that worked at the castle and just maintained all of the armor and swords and things like that. He said that would have been you would have been that guy. I gotta get a hold of Matt and find out exactly how he wants this done. Not the bladesmith. The bladesmiths made the knives, but then they had people that worked at, basically took care of all of the armor and weapons and gear, and they were called an armorer. And they worked at the armory. It's like, hey, you know what? That's kind of cool. Never even really thought about it. I mean, I knew it, but when I was in the military, the Navy, I worked in the armory, and I had the qualification of an armorer. I was able to. It's like one step below gunsmith. You know? What's the writing? Nice ladies come down to check your polishing skills. I probably would say Japan during the medieval periods. I love that period of history. And then you start working under the cook, sharpening butter knives. It's not good. It's not good. Well, I've set the angle on this. I don't think I'm going to be able to completely finish this. I need to start getting ready. I got to grab my paperwork and stuff like that. Grab some. Computer, the sound of you again. Restart your computer completely. I have to get my wife's computer in. We think the sound card's trying to go bad in her Apple, and it's past the point where Apple Care can do anything, and I can't take it to the Apple Store because they don't work on it because it's old enough that they won't do it. Hey, unlock the door. Oh, she's locked me out here before, and it pisses me the fuck off. And it's not like she locked me out on purpose. It's just instinct to lock that door. What time is it? I have another 30 minutes. Before I have to go in and throw on some good clothes. And then I'm only going to that one meeting. This is not a big insurance week for me. As a matter of fact, I haven't done any insurance, really. I did a little bit yesterday. I have customer orders that have got to be fulfilled. I have people that we have a couple people that are trying to get knives before Christmas, and I'm working desperately. I still have to sharpen their knives when they come back, and sharpening those neck knives takes a bit. I'm gonna do this, but I've got to ask Matt if Kings and Knights, be noble. Well, I don't know. So I'm hoping, I got a call yesterday from a guy that was looking. Jeff, are you leaving? I had a guy that called me yesterday that was looking for a knife. Wanted a Viper neck knife, and I was unable to talk. They were supposed to send me a text. I never got anything. I'm hoping that I can catch him on one of these feeds. You just need to get back a hold of me. I will. I'm feeling much better. So if any of you are the ones that called me when I was at the post office yesterday, please try to give me a call at about noon today, in about another couple hours. I wasn't trying to blow them off. Initial contact sometimes is, but I hate email. Is so clunky and slow, and I can keep track. I can keep a running thing of text messages. I can do screenshots of text messages so that then I can delete them. I get instant notification on text. I don't on email. Stuff winds up in junk folders for no fucking reason in email, and it just pisses me off. There it is. Just passed through the checkpoint. Hate butterfly knives. No, they don't. They're not a real. They're not a real useful tool. What steel is the SE? I can't remember. Is it 1065? Is it marked on it? I can't remember what steel it is. $10.95. It rusts pretty easily. I'm gonna have to make sure I put a little bit of oil on this. I did notice there was some rust on it. It shouldn't rust as badly because the edge is going to be a lot finer. But I don't know if I want to take this. It's an outdoors knife. I don't know if I'm going to take it above 1,000. We may just leave it at 1,000 and Strop. We'll see. For the style knife it is, it may. What's your favorite method of burr removal when you have a stubborn wire edge? Wine cork, wine bottle cork, or a whiskey bottle cork, whatever you've got that happens to be cork, or a piece of hard wood. Just drag it through it. It should break that burr off. Balisongs did come from Philippines. Balisong was originally a Philippine style. I think that they were called butterfly knives though before Benchmade started making them. They were, because they kind of have that. They are kind of reminiscent of a butterfly, but Benchmade made a lot of them. The Scotch I like comes with, and it's here on the table somewhere. The Scotch, one of the Scotches I like has well, most of the Scotches I like, if you get a good Scotch, it's going to come with a cork. I hear a hawk. I see a hawk. Now I hear a crow. Tom and Towel, Glenlivet, Glenfiddich. Any good Scotch will come with a lid, like a cap like this. And that's what it's out here for, because it just breaks that burr right off. So that's pretty, I think I want to ask Matt. I will ask him later if he wants me to take it above 1,000 and if he wants it pretty or sharp, because that front being ground all wonky it's gonna, I don't want to have to charge him extra for it because he already paid me. Just making sure I got the burr off of it. Okay, let's just like bourbons. I drinking Bullet. Yeah, Bullet Rye, Bullet Bourbon, they come with a cork as well. Well, that's pretty fucking sharp. I think we're gonna leave it there. 9:30. I got 30 more minutes. Can I finish the last knife in 30 minutes? I think I can. That'll do. That will do. That's 1,000 grit. And it's like that all the way to the tip. So I'm gonna ask him. I can always go up a little bit for him. Last knife. Last knife. It's not a real thin. I've had the fill. Became my new favorite whiskey. That's about where I want it. Nico, Tridecium, was it 20 CV or was it S690? I can't remember. We asked Elliot at the bar Friday, and then I forgot. I can't remember what he said it is. This was not, whoever this last did not do a very good job. It really didn't have much of an edge. It was very rounded, very blunt. Did I miss a comment? Did I miss a comment? Did I miss one? Well, turkey I've kept since the early 90s. The kicking chicken. Me and the kicking chicken can't play. If you're with me and you see me drink wild turkey, get me the fuck out of the bar, because the chances of the police showing up have multiplied exponentially. I'm not a decent human being when I drink Wild Turkey. I don't know what it is. Like, people have said, oh, different alcohols don't affect people differently. Bullshit. I drink Wild Turkey, I'm gonna get in a fight. There are no two ways around it. I drink Wild Turkey, the police are coming. Thank you, my little research midget. I was gonna say widget, then I thought midget would be funnier. About Wild Turkey, like a lot of people say that, like, oh, I get mean when I drink tequila. You give me tequila, I just get happy. Nico's seen it, I just get. Edge Pro stones right now. I will be using my Nanuwa stones here shortly, because I'm going to take this to 8,000 grit. See how that works out for N690 at 10,000 grit is good, but Wireless Junkie, will you take it? I haven't seen you on one of my feeds very often. Yeah, I know it's a lot, because I'm just out here by myself. Yesterday I watched the movie Commando. I did a little bit of live feed, and then I watched. Stream is broken. What do you mean the stream is broken? Are you guys having problems at kicking you off? Absolutely what? Absolutely what, Wes? Okay, I'm sorry, guys. There's nothing much I can do about it. It's not giving me. It's not telling me I have a slow internet or anything. So, if it's N690, it makes sense with the. Who was that said that I'm the reason that they got into sharpening? What did I do? It's kind of it's counterintuitive. I did this channel to drum up more business for my sharpening service, but it more turned into kind of thing. So I'm cool with that, though. This business will take off. I just have to weather the storm of getting things started. I really have to. And then there's gonna have to be some changes in the way I do stuff. Ooh, I just saw it glitch. It's glitching on my too. So sorry guys, there's nothing I can really do about it. It's with 600 stone. We'll go up to that one. So, I've heard people say that you got to remove the grit between stones, and I don't. I don't. I never do. I am doing something. If it's boring, guys, oh, no one tells you have to stay. Vinny, no one's. I told a guy that was bitching about my video. I was like, well, don't watch it. No one's strapping you at a chair and holding your eyelids open. He got really abusive in the comments. I was like, no one's making you watch this. 600 grit Edge Pro, yeah. I was like, no one's forcing you to watch my channel. Just don't watch it. And he kept getting abusive, and I was like, oh, that's when I found the block button. I'm like, hey, I can shut this idiot up right now. I don't ever have to hear this again. First time I ever blocked anybody. It felt good. It's just like, you know what? You're an idiot. I don't want to hear this anymore. I do, but I also can get to the point where I don't necessarily actually form much of a burr because I can hear when it apexes. So I think that's part of it too. I've never had an issue with it. And then at the very end, when you're past 1,000 grit, when you start getting into I can't feel the burr anymore. 1,000 grit, I can still feel the burr a little bit at 2,000 grit. I'm like, is that the burr? But then the final step is I run it on a strop just to make sure I've knocked the burr off. I'm not spending a long time on the strop trying to polish or anything. And the reason that I don't trick. Don't worry. I have a tendency to do it, buddy. Why do you have a... Because Nico is a moderator on my channel. If Pip Corona was logged in, you would see that Pip Corona also has. Bye. Love you. Nico needs a wrench because he's nuts. Yeah, you can put me in timeout. I love it. Well, yeah, I got 20 minutes left and only 3 seconds. Pretty sure I'm gonna make it. See you 1 week later. Are you coming out here? Oh, that's right, you're leaving. Yeah, your junior knife left yesterday. I imagine it's gonna take a few days for it to get there. Yeah, this is definitely not 20 CV. I can tell by the way it looks on these. That's... I made Nico and Pip moderators after there was a guy that started doing there were some inappropriate comments towards my daughter. And so when that started happening, I asked Nico and Pip if they would mind just trying to keep an eye on some of the stuff. Yeah. Just keep an eye on comments and things like that, because I can't, you know, I didn't want abusive stuff going on. I didn't want inappropriate stuff in the comments, and because at the time I was really busy, you know, I couldn't do it all the time, and so I figure split it 3 ways. It's a little bit easier. I don't know if he can. Nico, I don't know if you can actually block someone. But I know that you can flag comments and take down. Well, we haven't had to block anyone for a while. thought you could. I thought you did get notification and comment. I know I do. I get notifications all day. Who is that? Yeah, I'm still live. I'm trying to get this done. I know during a live feed, I think you can kick people from the live feed. You can bump them. I know I can. I can do it. I don't get emails. I get text messages. I get a message directly from YouTube. For every comment, I get a. What was that? Isn't it has a block button for you? Yeah, I do too. I can, like, if I click on Vinny, I get block user, put user in timeout. I can add a moderator. Well, I don't know if you guys have noticed, I try to respond to every comment. I at least read every comment. I honestly do. It doesn't get old. I enjoy my interaction with my subscribers. I need to figure out how I do a Patreon only video. I owe that to my Patreons. But I am going to take down the sharpening discount off of that because no one ever wants to take it. It's kind of a waste to have it up there listing it. So, all right. Here we are. I mean, there might come a time where it gets to where I can't do that, but until then, I'm going to keep trying to do it. Make sure there's no dust on here. And I like to do live feeds because then I can kind of respond to stuff real time. So, you know, there's two choices of what I can do while I'm out here. I could sit here and I could watch some bullshit that I've already watched 100 times. Which I do, just for background noise. I'll watch something that I've seen numerous times. Like the other day I watched, like yesterday I watched Commando, Arnold Schwarzenegger Commando. I've seen that movie probably 200-300 times. I've got it on DVD. I've got it on Amazon. Or another one that I really love to have just as background noise is fucking can't think of it now. I can't think of the name of it. There's another movie. It's a Harrison Ford movie. Fuck, I know it. It's the one where it's in the future. They just did Blade Runner. It is a Tridecium. They made this a few years ago. It's really hard to find. They're really rare, and this one is going to stick around because it's going to be in a video. 300 seconds. You can't give it 300 seconds, dude. That's a long time. Change it to 30 seconds, bro, not 300. You're in timeout, bro. Yeah, I was in the military. That finger is sore. Split it wide open. Oh man, that's all right. I'm almost done. This was the last knife I've got. I think I got like 5-10 minutes left before I have to go to get changed. I got 10 minutes left. So, I mean, Vinny did ask. It's gonna kill me, skull fuck my sister, real credit. That's, people are douchebags. And I think we are where we need to be with this. Feels like it. I can usually tell by feel. Oh, nice. Smoky Mountain Knife Works does have a useful page. They have more as on page 51. Of course, on the back side of it, there's nothing but trash, so. Woo-hoo. You hear that? Not even a sound. N690 gets stupid sharp. That's it. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 knives. 5 knives this morning before work. Guys, it's been 73 minutes. I gotta go. I got stuff to do. I will talk to y'all later.